Welcome back to the last Omaha news of the fall semester. Thank you for joining us. I'm Jared Meyer.
And I'm Paul Dobler. Coming up, we'll have reporter Tasia Velasquez tell us why blood donations are so critical during this time of the year in the Omaha area.
Also, one local Omaha community center is trying to make a difference in the lives of the youth in our area. Reporter Brandon Mosley shows us how. You're watching the Omaha News.
This is the Omaha News, presented by the School of Communication at the University of Nebraska at Omaha, from the studios of UNO Television.
The need is constant, the gratification is instant. The American Red Cross is the nation's largest blood collection organization, supplying more than 40% of the blood and blood products used in our country. Each year, volunteers and employees collect approximately 6.5 units of blood, and while these numbers seem large, Tasia Velasquez explains why it's never enough.
Each year, volunteers and employees of the American Red Cross collect approximately 6.5 million units of blood from roughly 4 million donors, but the need for blood is always constant.
It's really important to donate blood. 1 unit could save up to 3 lives.
There's certain times of the year blood is at a greater demand, and winter season is one of those.
It's really important to give blood during those, months and the time of need, because that's when people actually get into accidents more, and that's when people start needing blood more.
5 million patients in the U.S. need blood every year, and every 2 seconds someone needs a blood transfusion. You can help save more than 1 life with just 1 donation.
Very important that we get our regular donors and even new-time donors coming in.
And there were first-time donors.
I was just like, why not? I could help people. I've got a friend that just graduated medical school, and just talking to him, I know that through the ER and through EMT services, blood is very important, even for research.
Blood is something most people can spare, yet there is still not enough to go around.
41,000 blood donations are needed every day, but blood cannot be manufactured. It can only be taken from generous donors. For the Omaha News, I'm Tasia Velasquez.
Some additional tips on how to give a successful blood donation. First, maintain a healthy iron level in your diet by eating iron-rich foods such as red meat. Get a good night's rest the night before. Drink an extra 16 ounces of water. And remember, bring your donor card, license, or 2 other forms of ID. For more information about the Red Cross or how to donate, go to www.redcross.org.
The manhunt for an Iowa man continues, and authorities suspect he could be in Omaha. 57-year-old William Elliott of Red Oak, Iowa, allegedly kidnapped a 22-year-old woman and poured gasoline on her with the intent to murder her by fire. Elliott has yet to be seen. He is believed to frequent the Omaha area. Authorities ask that if you have any information of his whereabouts, to please contact police.
The Joe Edmondson Center has made its mark in the wrestling community for over 40 years. Now, many parents are tuning to it for more than just wrestling. Reporter Brandon Mosley has more.
Way out, Terry, cheating.
Look at
Shoot.
The Edmondson Youth Outreach Center has been a staple in the North Omaha community for over 40 years now. It's a place where low-income housing children could come and have a safe environment. 5-year-old Taraji likes to come to the center for games.
Play games, clean up, and eat.
The Edmondson Youth Outreach Center has been known for their wrestling program for over 30 years. But now they're offered many more programs to the youth that's involved.
Programs where we hook up with the OHA Housing Authority, teach children to control themselves as well for behavior and educate them.
Former student of the program and now the director of the Edmondson Youth Outreach Center, Todd Magruder, says it's here for the youth needs.
A center that was started by Joe Edmondson back in 1968 to give young people an opportunity to express themselves through the art of wrestling.
In order to keep the Edmondson Center open, they need funds, and they receive that in many different ways.
Mainly through private donations, and again, we do a lot of things with our Title 20. A lot of our kids are Title 20, and we charge fees and do fundraisers, and we have 2 annual tournaments a year. Just a all-around facility for young people.
For the Omaha News, I'm Brandon Mosley.
The Edmondson Center is open after school and through the summer and will be hosting wrestling invitationals this winter.
The Affordable Care Act has survived a Supreme Court appeal and a government shutdown, but now it is losing support with the congressional Democrats. Many of the Democrats in Congress are unhappy that the Affordable Care Act has led to many families having to drop their health insurance plans instead of keeping their pre-existing plans like President Obama had promised. Former Democratic President Bill Clinton voiced his disapproval and said President Obama needs to honor his promises.
Poetry slams originated in Chicago in 1984, and they made their way across the country. For more than a decade, Omaha has been a host to a reoccurring poetry slam in the Old Market. Kelly Schultz has more.
Beyond the Buddhas of this tea shop lies an avenue of self-expression.
I got talked into starting a poetry slam here at the Ohm Center, and it was going to be kind of a one-time thing, but it had such a good response. We've been doing it every month for the past 11 years.
The open mic appeals to amateur poets or individuals who simply need to be heard.
Your smile was always a cloud, a mouthful of cotton candy. This means everything to me. Know what it meant to be one with the atmosphere. I wonder if you have become a statistic.
And the organizers and audience of the poetry slams at the Omaha Healing Arts Center are happy to lend an ear.
Slaving for a cent, workers start a simple strike to even out the money, put shoes on feet, and send the kids to school.
The slams are held on the second Saturday of every month, and signing up for the open mic is simple.
The process of getting involved in a poetry slam is showing up before the start time, signing up your name on a piece of paper, and you're good.
White of winter. My heartbeat sounds like my best friend's voice. My best friend's voice sounds like a cottonwood in April, blooming with beginnings. Every beat, a reminder there is a tree inside my chest.
Recently, Omaha has seen a burst of interest in the arts, and the spoken word is just one avenue of expression.
In addition to the open mic, the poetry slams also bring in touring poets to recite their work for the audience. For the Omaha News, I'm Kelly Schultz.
For more information on the Omaha Poetry Slams, visit omahaslam.com.
Local Omaha middle schools proved yesterday that poetry slamming isn't just for the adults. The pizza shop in Benson was filled with students throughout the school district. Each student presented 2 poems. Students were judged on their presentation, voice, and poem choice.
Coming up after the break, we'll learn more why breastfeeding is beneficial in some unexpected ways and how women feel about breastfeeding in public.
And reporter Tanner Kaler will join us to tell us how one rundown part of Omaha has now become a booming attraction in the city. You're watching the Omaha News.
PBS is the place you should go first. There are no advertisers to be satisfied, only an audience to be satisfied.
We take our responsibility as journalists very seriously. We are constantly thinking about our viewers and what they care about.
We want to let you know what the information is, and then you decide what you want to think.
At the News Hour, we are after the facts and only the facts.
You've always known you were a leader, someone who works hard to achieve your goals. You can see it. You can see your success in front of you. You pursue a college education for the old-fashioned reasons, to learn, to make yourself more valuable, to succeed. You need a place that celebrates your ambition and positions you alongside visionary people just like you. You, my friend, belong here, the University of Nebraska at Omaha.
UNO-TV invites you to take a journey around the world, to lush jungles with endangered species, to exotic lands and different cultures, to lost cities beneath the sands. Travel through time to see ancient secrets on the other side of the world, the growth of the American West, or the start of Nebraska's largest city, or just explore our state. Find out about Nebraska in World War II. Learn how Omaha has grown since. Discover the effort to renovate its green spaces, the history of one of its most impressive buildings. or look at its internationally recognized university. For over 20 years, UNO-TV has produced award-winning documentaries that explore, educate, and enlighten. To find out more, call 402-554-2516 or visit unotv.unomaha.edu.
You're watching the Omaha News.
Once an area of the city that dealt with absentee landlords and high crime rates, the Benson neighborhood has become a prime entertainment district in Omaha. Reporter Tanner Kaler is in the newsroom with more. Tanner?
Thanks, Jared. Yeah, Benson is known for its lively night entertainment and bar scene, but one business is becoming part of a new trend in the area.
We've all heard that sometimes it takes a village.
I've always known that Benson's really special.
In this case, it's taken a neighborhood.
I think we've just discovered in Benson that you're just not going to make it if you haven't figured out a way to work with your neighbors.
When Autumn Pruitt and her husband decided to open their second Aromas Coffee House location, they looked for an area of the city that matched the vibe of their other location in the Old Market. Their choice? Benson.
Being in a historic neighborhood and being in a community made a lot of sense to us.
And to a lot of others who see the improvements as well.
Now, some in the area compare Benson to the Old Market, an area transformed into a cultural hub of the city. Not even 10 years ago, Benson suffered from quiet streets and empty storefronts. Today, though, it's become a destination all its own.
You've got retail coming in, great new restaurants. Just a couple of years ago, we only had like 3 restaurants in the area. Now, my gosh, some of the best food in Omaha can be found right here in Benson.
But there's still room for the neighborhood to improve. Benson is in an area considered a food desert, meaning residents have to travel more than 1 mile to get to any supermarkets. Benson's only grocery store, Louie's, closed in early 2012. But despite that, the area has come a long way in just a few short years, and it keeps business owners like Autumn looking forward to the future.
It takes multiple new businesses moving in at once to be able to make that not just a blip on the map, but continuous growth.
Now, Getzinger says the neighborhood is in a perfect area to attract young adults. Benson currently has 2 beer breweries of its own, and more restaurants are said to be on the way. Jared, back to you.
Thanks, Tanner. One iconic establishment in the Benson area will be closing its doors for good come Sunday. Louie's Bar and Grill was built by a Russian immigrant in 1934 and is one of the oldest bars in Omaha. The bar will be turned into a Buc-ee's gas station, but no word on what will happen to the famous Louie sign. There will be a party Saturday night for anyone who wishes to pay his or her respects to the bar before it closes for good.
Breastfeeding is a natural part of nourishing babies, but when we see a mother breastfeeding in public, most of us seem to be uncomfortable.
Ready to eat?
Breastfeeding is the best thing for not only baby, but also mom.
You go.
There's lots of benefits for both mom and for baby, right? One of the probably more little known benefits of breastfeeding for baby would be decreased risk of childhood leukemia. A baby is 5 times greater protected from dying of SIDS if they're breastfeeding. Moms who breastfeed have a decreased risk for cardiovascular disease. They have a decreased risk for sorts of cancers. We're also finding that it's lowering both mom and baby's risk for diabetes later in life.
Breastfeeding a baby is completely natural, yet in our society it seems that it should be done at home and not in public.
Because of magazines like this one, as well as the entertainment business, there seems to be a stigma around the female body, particularly the breasts.
But Nebraska law, LB 197, protects a mother's right to breastfeed in public, stating that it ensures mothers are able to breastfeed wherever they are authorized to be. But most try to be discreet about the fact that they are breastfeeding.
Breastfeeding is natural, so if people know I am breastfeeding, that's fine, but I do try to cover with my shirt, or sometimes I'll use a blanket and cover.
So just remember that the next time you are out and you see a mother breastfeeding her child, that it is completely natural and normal, and is a beautiful part of life. Research has shown that adolescents and adults who are breastfed as babies are less likely to be overweight or obese and perform better on intelligence tests.
After the break, Michaela Lee will have our sports report and tell us the latest in Maverick hockey news.
And reporter Brandon Mosley shares how UNO plans to keep its aviation program at the top with a new state-of-the-art simulator. You're watching the Omaha News.
KVNO was in a really interesting place. This Victorian mansion near UNO.
3 floors. The studios were on the 3rd floor.
Bedrooms and bathrooms. So we had a challenge, but we ultimately ended up with an on-air studio.
We soundproofed it with carpet, and actually I think it sounded really warm, very radio friendly.
There were also rumors that the 3rd floor was haunted. Those were the maid's chambers, as we were told.
I had a sink in the office and leaded glass windows which looked out on the stable house in the back.
One colleague talking about having the window open one day, a warm spring or fall day, and a squirrel jumping through the window onto a turntable.
It was a great place, a great ambiance for a fine arts station.
It definitely had a charm to it.
NET Television expands your mind, enlightens your mind, inspires your mind, educates your mind, entertains your mind. NET Television opens up new worlds to you. Explore, travel, learn, discuss, debate. NET Television keeps you informed. Music, theater, dance, art, news. NET Television awakens your dreams, seeks to serve, strengthens our communities. We are Nebraskans. We are NET Television, Nebraska's PBS station.
You're watching the Omaha News.
The UNO Aviation Program is one of the top programs for its size. The program has won many awards, and brand new simulator is helping the program stay on top of the competition.
To use them and do specific different kinds of missions for them.
The UNO Aviation Program is among one of the best programs in this region. The program was voted the best and was presented the Logging Trophy SafeCon competition.
The UNO Aviation Programs offer 2 brand new flight simulators, the Redbird and the Blackbird.
The 1-year-old Redbird MCX is a full-motion FAA-approved simulator where aviation students and pilots can use the simulator to log flight hours. This simulator is well over $70,000. Flight team member Travis Hutter says flying the simulator is like flying in the real plane.
Flying the simulators is pretty similar to flying the actual airplane. I mean, there's interchangeable panels in there, so you can actually switch what kind of airplane you're flying.
But not only the aviation students can use the simulator, but it's open to the public to use too, for a small fee of $90 an hour.
In fact, I get probably a call a week from someone from the outside wanting to come in to use these sims.
Flight team coordinator David Smith thinks the aviation program may be getting a new simulator, so the program will have a total of 4. Only 3 of them will be FAA approved.
We're looking possibly in getting into a 3rd sim, which is a more advanced sim that'll emulate a jet aircraft.
Last week in regionals, the UNO flight team took 3rd place in qualifying for nationals. For the Omaha News, I'm Brandon Mosley.
The flight team will compete at nationals in Ohio next spring.
Next we have Michaela Lee in with a look at sports. Michaela?
Thanks, Paul. The UNO men's basketball team got some good news after its loss at Iowa on Sunday. Senior guard Justin Simmons was granted an extra semester of eligibility and will be able to play the entire season. Simmons' eligibility for the whole season was in question at the beginning of the year, but after he and the university appealed his eligibility to the NCAA, he has been allowed to finish out his senior season. Simmons is averaging 8.5 points a game this season and was last year's leading scorer. After an amazing 42 victory over North Dakota on Saturday, the UNO Mavericks were looking to extend their 3-game winning streak. North Dakota drew first blood in the fight between two competitive teams with a goal within the first 3 minutes of the game. UNO tied the game in the same period with a wrist shot from Ian Brady. North Dakota would retake the lead with 2 goals in the second period. The Mavs chipped away at the lead with a goal from Josh Archibald before time expired. With the loss, the Mavericks dropped to 5-5 overall and 3-1 in conference play. The Mavs will host nationally ranked number 2 Michigan for a 2-game series starting November 15th. Puck drops at 8:07 Friday night. And that's our look in sports this week. Jared and Paul, back to you.
Thanks, Michaela. After the break, we'll find out more about one of the latest fitness crazes to hit.
Also, we'll learn more about the No Shave November phenomenon and how it started. You're watching the Omaha News.
Right now. One thing you would like our viewers to know about this state.
The importance of volunteerism.
What are you saying to folks?
I'm here to discuss these images.
When you can take that knowledge and that expertise and that passion in terms that they're all going to understand.
They need to know the real stories.
I'm Kathy Wyatt. Join us for Consider This each week on NET1.
3, 2, 1. Vehicle's now going supersonic.
When you want to go above.
It was something new.
Or reach beyond.
Oh my gosh, it's fantastic.
When you want to peer inside.
There's something wrong here. This isn't normal.
It would seem almost impossible. Or push the limit.
Large tornado! It's humongous! You need to get out now!
When you want to dive deep.
These divers are like astronauts.
Our human nature is to push into places that we don't know about.
Or go to the edge.
There are other worlds out there.
We don't know exactly what we're going to find.
When you want to find new frontiers.
I was truly astonished.
You just don't ever know.
Nova.
Wednesdays on NET1.
The University of Nebraska at Omaha is a place for tomorrow's leaders. A place where individuals converge on a path to success, getting the attention and direction they need as they begin their career. It's where students take pride in serving Omaha, a city we've invested in for more than 100 years. UNO is a place where greatness begins. The University of Nebraska at Omaha.
Not only is November a month to stuff your face with turkey, but it's also for men to let their inner caveman out. The great month of November, where the leaves fall, nice and cool days if we're lucky, and don't forget about Thanksgiving and football. But when the month of November hits, men of all ages, well, men who can grow facial hair, will just let it out. It's called No Shave November. And if you're a man who can grow facial hair, it is probably the manliest thing you can do for 1 out of the 12 months every year. Omaha resident Tom Ziegler says this is his 3rd year doing No Shave November, and for the past 2 years, his wife Kim has not been a big fan of it.
And the past 2 years, I absolutely hated it because he would grow this teeny tiny mustache that was just a single line. And everything is so patchy, and look, if you can see, it's literally all on his neck.
I have a lot of neck. This month, a lot of guys will be putting their electric shavers and razors in the bathroom drawer. Peach fuzz, yes. But what really is the purpose of No Shave November? It started in South Australia in 1999 and originally was called Movember. It is also to grow awareness on cancer prevention, and there's even a website that you can go to donate money. As for Tom and Kim, they seem very optimistic about next year.
Yeah, I want to see a goatee.
Maybe next year.
Yeah.
I'll get a couple more in there.
For more information on No Shave November, or if you would like to donate money, you can go to no-shavenovember.com.
One ABC News reporter went on air to get a mammogram to set an example and save lives. But instead, she ended up saving her own. 1 month ago, ABC's Good Morning America reporter Amy Robach received a mammogram on live television for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Monday, she revealed that her test came back positive for breast cancer and hopes her story will inspire other women to receive examinations as well.
Put up your dukes. A new trend has hit the Omaha Metro. Michaela Lee has the story.
A new fitness crave is hitting the country. From wraps, gloves, and bags, boxing is taking Omaha by storm.
I love boxing. It's an awesome workout and it's really good for stress management and self-defense.
One must come ready to work before hitting the bags with everything they got.
Hook, upper, move around that bag. I like to beat up the bags instead of people.
With a national average of 68.8% of citizens overweight, it's not just aggression that has folks working up a sweat. Constant movement for an hour, Title Boxing in Omaha tells clients they can burn up to 1,000 calories in one class. 9 different rounds, you're sure to never get bored and will leave you feeling with more than just exhaustion.
Strength, confidence,
stress relief.
Nice. Elbow, elbow. Yep. So start with your left. I feel like boxing gives me more of an overall workout. I get to work on my abs while I'm hitting, and I get a better self-confidence from doing it because the trainers here actually push you to do what you're supposed to do.
For the Omaha News, I'm Michaela Lee.
While boxing centers guarantee visitors will burn 1,000 calories in an hour class, it should be noted that those numbers will be different based on each individual's effort. Thanks for tuning in to the last Omaha News of the semester. If you're looking for more, check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/theomahanews.
While you're there, you can check out the news stories our reporters covered, submit story ideas, or give us feedback. We'd love to hear from you. From all of us here at the Omaha News, good night.
Television gives students a chance to work in a real studio. Working on the TV crew, students get hands-on experience with lights, camera, and action. Working on a variety of shows gives students a leg up looking for jobs. In fact, many former crew members work at local stations. It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience for students to learn the science and art of TV production. UNO TV, student crew, professional staff, award-winning results.
When will you look deep into space? When will you travel back in time? When will you experience the power of red? When? Anytime. Online at video.netnebraska.org. Search, select, and share with the NET Video Player. Watch our shows on your schedule.
What if there were a neighborhood where every child felt they belonged, and a big dog helped them stay little a little longer? A monkey helped them find the wonder in every little thing. This bird showed them how to soar. Support the people and programs that never stop asking.